Hello and welcome to the show. Today's rally car build is going to be a little bit different. I saw this idea suggested in the comments of a recent build video. I really liked it, so we're going to give it a try. I'm going to be doing another Lucky Dip one, but however, rather than using the Forza wheel spin system, we are going to head to the auction house. And we're going to pick the 21st car as we scroll down the auctions, and that is going to be our vehicle. I've just noticed, hold on, let's go to Forza Race there. Just noticed how peculiar the Lamborghini's windscreen wipers are on the Countach. They've got like a mini one in the middle of them. That's, I've never noticed that before. Well, I guess you learn something new every day there. Yeah, we're going to go see what we are going to be using. Of course, there are a couple of sort of rules and stipulations to this. I'm not going to be buying a Horizon Edition car. I'm not going to buy one of them. It's far too much money. Also, if the vehicle is either one we've already run or starts off with too high a PI, so we can't use it, then equally we'll go to the car below that. But I'm hoping we're going to get something interesting, so we're just going to go search for anything. These are the cars that are currently being sold at the auction. So, we have got to go down to the 21st. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I mean, that'd be quite nice. Our next vehicle that appears here will be what we're going to build. Please be nice. Please be nice. It is... Oh, bugger. It is the Ford Super Deluxe Station Wagon. There we go. I'm going to buy the car out just to make sure that it doesn't end up. We're not going to mess around. It's only, 110,000? So bugger it. It has actually got some parts already installed on it. But because we're going to have to be playing around with the tune and so on, they're all going to be removed. This, I mean, this is actually quite likely to be fast. And I know that sounds like a weird thing. However, the SUVs have been quick in general in this series. SUVs have been very quick. This is going to be along similar lines. It's going to have massive power. It's going to have massive power. And that has tended to help. Now, has it gone into my garage? I hope so. We will go along and find Ford somewhere in here. We will hopefully find our new station wagon. This one? Yeah, this one here. It's also I mean, I approve of the paintwork. That's a normal one. Yeah, I approve of the hideous mess that is the paint job on this one. We're gonna have to run with it. This is the car that that we have got. Oh, bugger. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the PI on this, and I suspect this has already got ludicrous amounts of power to be going with to start, and it's only halfway through A class. So, yay for me. I don't even know if this can get to the top of S1 class. With possibly, I don't know. Right, drivetrain swap, all-wheel drive, of course. We're going to want that. Engine-wise, we have got two options, in fact, on this car. We have got the 8.4-litre V10 or the 5.8-litre V8 double supercharged, I assume. V10 is actually slightly lighter, although the other one already comes with aspiration swap. Let's go do tyres first. Let's go do tyres. That would be a very useful thing to have on the station wagon. And we'll go for maximum tyre widths. They're not very big though, 245s all around. We are probably going to have some big oversteer issues, I would imagine, especially with the speed that this thing is going to be going. We're also going to put some Forza Aero on it. Any downforce that we can get. I would like to have Forza Aero and surfboards, but it doesn't happen. Because, yeah, it could be the first ever rally car build to run around with surfboards on. Right, what are we going to do about weight reduction? There's actually a conundrum with these larger vehicles. I'm kind of wondering if this is going to be better to not bother. If we have it more weight, it might be a little bit more stable. That's kind of my thinking in a vehicle like this. I guess it's still going to be 3,000 plus, so it's going to be okay. Power to weight ratio is probably going to be immense in this by the time we're done. Okay, engines. 8.4 litre V10 or the supercharged. I think we're going to go for the double supercharged engine just because it goes in a lot less vehicles. The V10 I've used a fair few times. Haven't used this as much. So we are going to go for... I love how there's only 2 PI difference between these two as well. We're going to go for Double superchargers. God, this is going to be just death. That is basically what is going to be in this car. I should probably sort out the gearbox just in case we have any remnants of the Woody's original stuff that is all going to be awful for dealing with 600 plus horsepower. Also, the diff will be very, very important. Okay, car, how much brutal power can we get out of you? Supercharged vehicles have tended to do quite well in this series so far, so let's hope that that continues. Oh, we're going to be putting out over 1,000. I suspect it's certainly going to be up there. I don't even know if it's going to get enough PI to get to the very top of S1 class with this engine, just looking at it. Hopefully, no, it's not, I don't think. It's going to get the power. It's going to get, well, it's going to get full power, basically. But it's not going to be quite enough to get it to the top of S1 class. We may have to... Maybe it doesn't get a... Oh, maybe we have to... Does it get more power with the turbos? It might actually get more power with the turbos than the superchargers, unfortunately. So we're going to take off the 2 superchargers and replace it with 2 giant turbos. Even though there's not as much power as the V10. Okay, change the plan. Oh, no. Continue working. Change the plan with the Woody slightly. We're going to want to get the V10. I think the V10 is ever so slightly more powerful than the V8 that we had there. Yes, I remember engine numbers and configurations, etc. Let's go for this. We'll put an exhaust. We'll get camshafts. They're going to whack our power up. 848. This is going to be at 1,100 horsepower, I suspect. Oh, no, not quite. We're going to be just sat under the 1,000 horsepower mark. What have we got can save a little bit of weight? But actually... Why don't we put these on? Because they add a fair bit of power. They're adding weight as well, but I'm not too fussed about that. I'm going to be honest. In this car, I'm kind of feeling like that bit more weight might actually give us half a chance at controlling the damn beast. 1,083 horsepower so far. We have done them already. I think like little bits like this we haven't got quite now, so they're not going to go on, I doubt. No, we're not going to get any more power. We've got almost 1,000 torque and almost 1,100 horsepower in our Woody. And this is going to have to survive a fast, dangerous, challenging rally stage. God help me. I think I am just about ready to unleash 1,000 horsepower of V10 Fury, all strapped into a rather old Ford, down this reservoir trail. The Woody is going to get 3 runs through the course, in an attempt to hopefully stay pointing in a straight line. The fastest car down this stage, the Ram Runner at 229.8, is a possible target. I don't really know. I think the Woody's going to lack control. I think the Woody's going to lack control big time, even if it has the brute force to get anywhere near the top of the table. We've got acceleration. We have got acceleration in spades in this thing. We're not going to be quite flat out through turn 1. We're on the grass. Well, I think I found the limit. I think I really did find the limit of what the Woody can do. I've been spoiled by nice handling cars. Or I say nice handling cars. Cars with a lot more grip than this. Oh, we're going to stop just about. Actually, I'm surprised. Brakes a little bit better than I feared they might end up being. So... yeah, I mean, that's something at least. We really, oh god, do not have the grip through some of these corners. And I think one other place that we might struggle with the Woody is we're going to be fighting oversteer. And we've seen time and time again, not conducive for a fast run down here. Certainly not the amount of oversteer that we're likely to get with this car, because we're going to be hitting corners at a lot of speed, and we've really not got the chassis or tyres or anything to quite be dealing with it, I don't think. But I have been wrong about cars before, so we shall wait and see. That's such a horrible impact on the ground. Some cars have done a better job at smoothing that out than others. It's not fun in the Woody, and we're certainly not as easy through that chicane. But then we've got just the sheer power for climbing that hill we have got. We can't maintain the corner speed, but we can climb the hill very, very quickly. We're still struggling, fighting that want to have oversteer. It doesn't feel quick, but I am sensing, and you can kind of get a little bit of a rough idea what sort of speed we're doing by the checkpoints. Like the ghost, well, I turned ghosts off because I don't like the distraction. You still see where they affect the checkpoints, so you can kind of use that as a little gauge as to how fast a run is going, as to where I am on that time. And this is actually not looking too bad, although that is a real tough corner to get through in a vehicle with very little in the way of rear-end grip. Now as we dance our way towards the bumpy section, can we get... Well, we can actually be quite nice and controlled all the way down here. We can, although that's a bit out of position. Oh, we were about, I don't know, 10 millimeters the wrong side of that tree. That's cost us some time. We throw it into the penultimate corner with a little bit more of a slide. It's certainly an intense drive in the woody. It's going to be stupid fast, though. It is going to be stupid fast at 230.9 on a run that was rather scruffy at best. Well, that's the third quickest time we've seen down this course. Yeah. Well, have a guess at how much time we need to find yet again. Yet again, it is a second if we are going to be challenging that Ram Runner, and it may well be doable with this crazy and completely out of control car. For most of the run, I have very little say over what the Woody is doing. It's kind of just going, and I'm hoping above hope that it stays on the road. It's completely and utterly wild, and yeah, somehow possibly the fastest car we have had down here. I much preferred driving the Evo 6. I will be honest, it might be slower down this stage, or the RS2 for that matter, but this is just the sheer power that this thing has got going. It's a couple hundred horsepower down on the Ram Runner, however, it is considerably lighter than the Ram Runner. It is around the same weight as the RS2. I think it's a fraction heavier than the RS2. Oh, we're trying to jump it. See, this section here, it feels so awful through. There's just so little grip, but it doesn't matter in the same way. Because we have all of the power, all of the torque, we can accelerate out the other side, up the hill so quickly, whereas other cars, like the Evo 6, like the S14, have had to make their lap speed by carrying speed through the corner. That's the only way they've gotten quick times. This just doesn't care. Once you've got it around, you can vaguely get it around the corner in one piece, you just floor it out the other side and look at it go down these straights. It's ludicrous, but it works. Again, I think the Ram Runner was more controlled than this. It's a similar story with the Ram Runner, of course. You know, it's never going to have the ultimate grip that the Evo or S14 or 22B or any of those cars have. However, it can just about carry enough corner speed to be competitive, and then we use brute force. That's way too much sideways, though, for the Woody. That's going to cost us some time, and that is one of the things, as I said, you can get away with it. However, if you really want a fast time, you still want to minimise it with actually lifting up the front through there. That's not good. That's bad. Things have all gone horribly wrong. Front end lifted up just as I was turning, and that's not what you want at all in a car. That's horrible, and that was just too much speed across bumps at an awkward angle. I mean, so we've had a horrible run onto this straight. I nearly spun. We were still up to 140 miles an hour before we hit the first jump. That's just how brutally fast the Woody is. It can't carry corner speed to save its life, but it doesn't need to, because it accelerates like a madman as we round the final corner. We spun on that lap and we were still below a 36 down here. Oh, this is a mental car. I quite like it. Well, the lunatic Woody is going to get one final run in its attempts to displace the Ram Runner from the top of our table, and it might just be able to do it. If the front end cannot look at the sky at a critical high-speed corner, just generally keeping this car under control is easier said than done. However, having said that, it does carry more corner speed than you might possibly expect. It feels like you are wildly out of control, but it can still make lap speed. Certainly, I don't have confidence in this car in the same way I have had with quite a few other vehicles. However, the speed is there if you can, well, just about tame it, and I think just about is the best possible description of this car. Truth is, I think not only was it looking up at the sky with the front that didn't help with the spin, it's also not comfortable across these bumps. Certainly not as much as the Evo 6 was, or the Ram Runner for that matter. Perhaps not surprising, you know, they are designed to be off-road cars. We are all sorts of wonky down there. I think we can actually get away with that, though. Carry great speed up this hill with the power. Yeah, this has not got anywhere near the composure across the bumps, which is making it a little bit worse to drive. I'm keeping it in higher gears. We've got the power to get away with that. We've got the power to still have the acceleration, and it just controls the oversteer, just controls the slight craziness in this car, and that works for me as we're trying to get the front end turned in. The front end in this isn't great when it comes to slower speed corners. It is a real faff, especially if we've got bumps to be worrying about as well, because it's struggling with the bumps and then it's struggling to turn in because we are lacking grip. But then once we are turned in, once we've got it around that corner, then we can fire up the 1000 horsepower V10, get away with very, very narrowly missing a checkpoint. Come on, get turned, push through that water. We have that kind of neutral steer slide through the water out towards the wall, but we've fought our way through it. Now, this is where things get scary. Keep the front end in check. We know we've got great acceleration, but that speed might also be what puts us in trouble down here, because we're going so fast and we have so little control across these bumps that might cause us issues as we look up at the sky. Head towards the final corner. Try and get the car turned in. You just wait so long to get the Woody turned in because there is no front end grip. And now we accelerate. We blast towards the line. Oh, that's going to be close. Oh, it's done it. It's done it by the smallest of margins. The smallest of margins, the Woody has gone faster. And that did include being quite out of place through one of the water corners. You should go around the outside of the water. I kind of dove down the inside of it. Now, we got away with carrying plenty, or we got away with carrying speed through there. Most cars, that wouldn't work. Most cars, that would have, yeah, cost it. However, the Woody will go to the top. It is a wild car. The difficulty with it, the turning isn't great, and the bumps, at the speeds that this is capable of taking around some parts, the bumps cause it so many issues. It is so terrifying across there because there's very little control. However, overall, the sheer brute force of this car is enough to take it to the top of the table, and we are only talking tiny fractions now between this top three. It's what, just over half a tenth, I think, between this top three. It's nothing in it. The RS2 is by far the nicest to drive of the lot of them, but it doesn't quite have the sheer force of the Woody. It is, you know, a fair bit quicker. It's over a second quicker than the Ford. It's a couple of seconds faster than the Evo 6. I would take the Evo 6 over it, though. Evo 6 is much nicer to drive. The Woody, while fast, you're also very, very likely to have a big accident with it. Yeah, it's a quick time. It's a quick time, and it can carry decent corner speed. You know, it's got to get that sort of time out of it. It's just really terrifying to do so, and bumps are horrible. However, that is going to be it for this build. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.